Well, hello everybody, and welcome to this webinar. Today it's going to be an exciting topic. I think something that's close to most of our hearts here, protecting data while on public Wi-Fi. Everybody loves public Wi-Fi, so what exactly are the threats and the problems, and how do you resolve them? Today we have two amazing guest speakers. Amit Barakat, he's a CEO for Perimeter 81. It's a cloud sort of VPN company, and they'll explain a lot more about what that means. And Karen Misolznek, and she is the head of marketing communications and PR. So welcome, both of you. How are you, Karen and Amit?
Hi, Julian. Thank you so much for having us today. We're really looking forward to discussing this topic with everyone.
All right.
Hi, everyone. Thank you.
Yes. So let's just jump right into this and get started. So I'll take it away, Karen. Let's start right now.
So as you all know, today we're going to be discussing public Wi-Fi risks and how you can easily prevent your clients against them to protect them. So we are Perimeter 81. We're a SaaS security service dedicated to transforming secure network access for the modern and distributed workforce. As you know, this is Amit, our CEO and co-founder, and I lead Perimeter 81's marketing. We're very happy to be speaking with you all today.
Hi, everyone. It's Amit here. We're very excited.
So essentially what Perimeter 81 is doing is what Dropbox did for files with network access. We are moving from a physical VPN gateway to an easy, simple to use, cloud-managed network access service. Today on our agenda, we're going to be speaking about common public Wi-Fi risks, and we're also going to discuss how a VPN as a service helps to protect against them. So as we all know, public Wi-Fi is everywhere in airports, cafes, hotels, and smart cities. By 2020, the number of public Wi-Fi hotspots is projected to reach 432 million, which is 7 times the 2015 figure. And of course, we all love to use it. So the use of public Wi-Fi is nearly universal, with 87% of US consumers having used public Wi-Fi on at least one of their devices, and 75% of people say that 1 week without Wi-Fi would leave them grumpier than 1 week without coffee. But of course, why we are all here today, public Wi-Fi is by no means harmless. It takes a hacker less than 2 seconds to attack an open network. And there are several reasons that public Wi-Fi is risky. First of all, there's insufficient encryption. So many Wi-Fi hotspots have absolutely no form of encryption, or they utilize a WEP protocol, which is a weaker encryption that is susceptible to cybersecurity breaches. Also, these Wi-Fi hotspots have poor password protection. So many Wi-Fi hotspots have widely shared passwords, or even worse, absolutely no password protection, and that provides incredibly easy access for cyber criminals. And then there is simply lack of awareness. Unfortunately, many people are not aware of the risks of public Wi-Fi, and they assume that maybe because they had to log in that the Wi-Fi network is secure, but unfortunately that could be so far from the truth. And only 1 in 3 people can actually tell the difference between secure and unsecure Wi-Fi networks. So now we're going to discuss some of the most common public Wi-Fi threats that you should be aware of. So first of all, one of the most common is the man-in-the-middle attack. Essentially here, what happens is that a hacker will lurk on the hotspot and secretly place themselves as a third party in between 2 users who lack mutual authentication protocols. And once they are firmly in control of the connection, attackers have the ability to read or even alter data that is transferred back and forth. There's also packet sniffing. So using readily available tools, hackers can capture packets of data passing through the network, and from these packets, they can steal administrative passwords and sensitive login credentials and much more. Then we also have the evil twin attacks. So in this case, with a seemingly legitimate network name, hackers can trick employees into connecting to a rogue Wi-Fi hotspot. And once this happens, they have full access to all the information that a person enters and transfers online. And last but not least, we have the Wi-Fi pineapple. So for less than $100, a bad actor can use a Wi-Fi pineapple, which is a small portable device, to generate spoof sites. So while an employee believes that they're safely browsing over an HTTPS encrypted website, they're actually browsing over a spoofed site and handing over their confidential information. So the threat is real. 1 in 5 people and 3 in 10 senior business managers have been hit by cybercrime while on the go. Now, there are a few ways to protect data on public Wi-Fi. We're going to go over these and then also discuss the drawbacks that are related with each one. So first of all, there's browsing only over HTTPS encrypted sites. So when you browse on a website, you want to check for the green lock and the HTTPS at the start of the URL. What this indicates is that the traffic is being encrypted through SSL encryption technology, and that the data transferred between your browser and the website is secured. However, this method is still vulnerable to SSL stripping. Another means of potentially preventing public Wi-Fi risks is enabling two-factor authentication. So two-factor authentication is a great way to prevent your accounts from being hacked. It ensures that in addition to username and password, additional verification such as an SMS code is required. So this adds an extra layer of security and it alerts you to any suspicious login attempts. However, in the case of public Wi-Fi, it is not necessarily enough. It only protects in the case that a password is stolen, but as we discussed, there are many ways and many kinds of data that can be stolen over public Wi-Fi. And last but not least, you want to also consider disabling auto-join to Wi-Fi networks. So as we mentioned previously, many Wi-Fi hotspots are unsecured. So before automatically connecting to any Wi-Fi network, you want to make sure that the Wi-Fi network you're connecting to is authorized, reliable, and trustworthy. Amit, you actually have a very interesting story from your personal experience about auto-join. Would you like to share it?
Yes, Karen. So actually, you'll be amazed that in the past 6 months, my iPhone got connected automatically to public Wi-Fi's 16,000 times without me interacting with my phone. So by simply going by like cafes nearby and driving from home to work, my phone got continuously connecting to public and free Wi-Fi's without me knowing about it. And I monitored my device for 6 months. And I noticed that it got connected 16,000 times. And based on the information that we shared before, if you'll notice the ratio of data compromising over public Wi-Fi, that's incredibly amazing.
Yes, yeah. So definitely disabling auto-join is something to certainly keep in mind. However, we've discussed these different methods and we've also discussed how they have drawbacks and are not foolproof. A VPN is by far the easiest and most effective means. As you all may be familiar, a VPN, a virtual private network, essentially allows you to set up a private secure connection to another network. And then you browse through an encrypted tunnel, which prevents hackers and snoopers from spying on and intercepting your data. So this is the most effective means. Yet, not all VPNs are created equal. So today we want to discuss what you should look for in evaluating a VPN service. So most of you all are probably familiar with traditional VPN technology. However, with the changes we're seeing in the modern workforce and the cloud transformation, this technology is not ideal. Why? It's hardware-based, it's very expensive, It's difficult to install and manage, has slow connection speeds, is hard to scale, and it's not cloud friendly. As you can see here, this is the legacy user experience with not so friendly client applications, very complicated to use, and the legacy architecture which lacks centralized cloud management. Now, we are seeing the emergence of software-defined VPN technology, and this is technology that is born and based in the cloud. And the advantages of this are it's cost-effective. You don't have the expensive external hardware. It's easy to set up and manage. Because it's software-based, it offers immediate updates and upgrades. It's highly scalable, offers seamless cloud integration, of course, and it provides multi-tenant support and clear MSP management. So, another thing that you really want to consider when you're choosing a VPN service is how does this service ensure Wi-Fi security? As we mentioned before, only 1 in 3 people can tell the difference between secure and unsecure Wi-Fi networks. So given this, it's necessary to find a service that doesn't rely on the user to connect, but provides automatic Wi-Fi protection. In our case, we've received a special approval from Apple, and we offer a breakthrough feature, automatic Wi-Fi security. So what happens is the minute that a user connects on any device to an unsecure Wi-Fi network, we automatically activate an encrypted VPN channel to ensure that all their data is protected. And speaking of encrypted VPN channel, you want to make sure that the service that you're using offers highly secure connections and the highest security possible. So here are some things that you want to look for. You want to make sure that they utilize 256-bit AES bank-level encryption, secure tunneling protocols, including OpenVPN or L2TP over IPsec. Perfect forward secrecy. This is a new method of encryption which involves rotating the encryption keys every 60 minutes. So if in the event an encryption key was compromised, the amount of data exposed would be minimal. A VPN Kill Switch is also a really important feature. What happens is if your employee is on the internet and the VPN connection drops, then this will automatically disconnect the internet connection as well, ensuring that no data passes through without a secure connection. And in the case of software-defined service and any SaaS service, it's really important to look for a solution that is SOC 2 compliant. This means that the service has undergone rigorous testing to ensure that they guarantee online privacy and security. Next, you'll want to ensure, of course, that the service that you choose offers user-friendly cross-platform applications. If the employees do not feel comfortable with the service and do not feel comfortable to use it, what good is the service? So employees should be able to easily access secure VPN connection without difficulty. And it's important to find a service that offers a really user-friendly interface with cross-platform single-click applications. And of course, last but not least, for MSPs, it's really important to consider, does the service offer multi-tenant consolidated management? So you want to look for a service that offers nice network visibility and auditing, multi-tenant management, SSO, SAML, and Active Directory integration, full auditing and monitoring, fast gateway deployment, easy network segmentation, and of course, anomaly detection, so that if you see anything suspicious, you can deal with it right away. And with that, with the right platform and considering all of these different aspects, your clients can certainly enjoy online peace of mind. And you, as an MSP, can experience an easy-to-manage product with a high customer satisfaction and also high recurring revenues. So, does anyone have any questions for us?
Yeah, hi, Karen. It's Julian. I'll jump in with the first one here.
Sure.
I know you talked about how it's Dropbox easy.
Yes.
But you can elaborate a bit on that to explain how does that compare?
Yeah, absolutely. Amit, would you like to chime in?
So, sure. So, basically speaking, the Dropbox interface gives you like a very simple things to manage in one place. So, whenever you are and wherever you are, you can simply log into your management console to reach your files, to see the team members that can access which files, and to have a single place of management that is user intuitive and provides you with all the features that you need in one place. When dealing with traditional VPN, you have to manage physical hardware appliances that are spread across multiple customers in different branches and different locations. While using a cloud-based VPN or software-defined perimeter solution like Perimeter 81, as an MSP, you can easily manage the entire remote access network requirements from a single place using a simple interface, managing your team, your network, just like you're dealing with Dropbox.
Got it. So just in case everybody didn't hear the first part, if you want to add any questions or ask any questions, please enter that in the panel discussion, the chat to the right side of your screen. And Marie's going to gather those and ask the P81 team here. I've got one more while Marie gathers some of those questions. We talk a bit about the hardware VPN compared to the software-based VPN. Is one more secure or less secure than the other?
So we hear this question quite a bit, is this cloud-based solution really more secure than a hardware-based service? And so although we may be more familiar with traditional hardware-based technology, we have to acknowledge the changes that are happening in today's modern workforce with the rise of the cloud, BYOD devices, increasing remote access. So hardware VPNs do not integrate well with the cloud, and that means that they leave the increasingly popular cloud services and cloud environments potentially unprotected. So this is a major security gap. Also, a SaaS service, as we had mentioned, allows you to push updates and upgrades instantly, whereas a hardware-based service would require more scheduling. And hopefully you wouldn't add, an update or an upgrade before it's too late. And then also, just the fact that it's so much easier to use, so it encourages employees to really use the service. And the easy management, the unified management allows for greater security because you can really manage everything in one place with an all-in-one holistic solution. So that really means that this software-defined solution is offering a lot more security in our day and age than perhaps a hardware-based solution would.
I see. So, Paulo, do you have any questions you'd like to chime in there? Or Marie, you've got one?
Yeah, I do, actually. A great presentation, Karen Amit. It's Paul Donley-Bletto from eChannel News. Yesterday, I was on the line with an executive who told me this story about being in the airport lounge, which is, you would think is a private little club. And he noticed lots of different Wi-Fi access points that were like Air Canada themed, right? And, he was under pressure and just picked the first one that was on. And I was telling him about Perimeter 81's solution. And, it speaks to the business audience that's out there, because I don't think they are quite aware of what is going on out there, as opposed to maybe the consumer market. I know you have Safer VPN, which started in the consumer play first. Can you speak to the business aspect of this product, and what's sort of like the business opportunity for managed service providers to take care of these high-level executives who may not be aware of what's happening in the public Wi-Fi space?
Sure.
Yeah.
So
go ahead, Amit.
Thank you, Paulo, on that great question. So basically speaking, when dealing with public Wi-Fi, I always say like utilizing a public Wi-Fi without a VPN, just like walking naked in the street. Once you're connected to a public Wi-Fi, attacker can steal your entire information, which starts with your credentials to your email and ends with whatever you know. And we gained significant experience in the consumer space by operating a world-leading, world-class VPN solution in the cloud. And the past couple of years have developed into the B2B to the business space with leading and cutting-edge, innovative software-defined solution in the cloud. And we see like tremendous adoption from all different market segments and different type of companies, from tech companies, from finance companies, healthcare companies, and we see a huge adoption regardless to the type of the users and the customers. And it's highly valuable also when we're dealing with compliance. For example, now with the GDPR requirements, employees cannot work on sensitive information while they're on public Wi-Fi's. So it opens up a complete and huge market opportunity, specifically to MSPs and channels, to deploy such a solution and to enjoy from one end innovative and consolidated VPN in the cloud, replacing and reducing them significant time that they need to invest in order to manage the traditional VPN. They can access and add users from their mobile while they're on the go and manage everything from a single place. And from the other end, offer to their customers a leading network security solution that protects them holistically and 360 degrees on public Wi-Fi's.
That's an interesting.
We cannot offer.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I was just going to try. It's an interesting point with the compliance issues with GDPR and so on. That endpoint devices from your employees. So the obligations, I guess, is extending to the employees. Is that right?
That's right. It's not only GDPR, it's also HIPAA compliance and SOC 2, and all these types of compliance requirements are all subject to two-factor authentication VPN service.
So definitely there's going to be definitely growing demand for protecting these endpoint devices. Bree, do you have another question?
I have another question, Julian, if you don't mind. In terms of if I was an MSP, would I simply just make Perimeter 81 part of my overall security solution to customers, or would you suggest that I sort of say, no, this is a special solution that you should look at independently? How would you answer that if I was an MSP?
So basically, it's a complementary solution. So from one end, you enhance your offering to your customers. Everyone hates VPN. So the traditional VPN, if you ask someone that uses it, it never works. It's slow, it's not fast, and like the user experience is bad, and it's like a 20 years old technology that haven't been reinvented. What we did basically is reinvented the VPN solution. So we offer like a easy to use and seamless experience to the users, the people. We built a product to people, and the end users are loving it. It's not only provides them and increase their productivity while logging into their remote networks and accessing their working environments, but it also protects them while they're on the go with a complete peace of mind. It not only protects them, but it also protects the business confidential information. So I would say it's like two shots in one. So it has a significant benefits that the MSPs can offer to their customers.
Got it, Marie. Do you have one?
Yes, Amit and Karen. Well, you did touch that, but can you talk about reliability and how can MSPs resell this service, specifically reliability?
So that's a great question. Basically speaking, we're a matured company with tens of thousands of customers all over the world that utilizing our technology, both in the consumer and the business market segments. And we gained, the past 4 years, we gained a lot of experience in operating a large-scale network in the cloud that provides 99.99 uptime. The entire infrastructure is fully high available, and it simply works. We have developed like multiple features, both in the client side, like we call diagnose fix, that runs in the background and fix problems and making sure that the VPN can be established and be connected. And we've gained a lot of experience, and we see it that the customers are extremely happy.
Okay, thank you. And I have one more question, actually a couple of more. Can you give us an example or let us know how we can identify an evil twin hack or know when data over Wi-Fi is being compromised?
So with the evil twin attack, you can take a look at the different Wi-Fi locations that are popping up, that are being offered to you. And before you connect, it's a good idea to check with the administrator of the location where you are and say, hey, is this your official Wi-Fi network? Because they can be deceptive in their name. So you need to probably check with the administrator and say, is this your official Wi-Fi network? Or I know in many places they have signs where they say, this is our official Wi-Fi network. Aside from that, it can be hard to detect Wi-Fi attacks while they may be happening, and that is why it's so important to utilize the VPN and ensure that you maintain an encrypted secure connection while browsing over unknown open Wi-Fi networks.
Karen, this is Paulo. I think it'd be a cool story to tell about what happened at the Republican National Convention in 2016, I believe in Cleveland.
Yeah, absolutely.
Channel News just did a story about that, top 5 dangerous public Wi-Fi hacks, and that was an evil twin attack, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, so absolutely. So that's a great example. Basically what happened was at the 2016 Republican National Convention, more than 1,200 attendees connected to a bogus hotspot, and more than 1.6 gigabytes of data was transferred from more than 1,200 users. Over 68% of the users' identities were exposed, and 44% of the Wi-Fi users checked their emails or chatted via messenger apps. So that just goes to show how vulnerable you can be over these attacks and how many people just simply fall for them because the network has a seemingly legitimate name. So it's really important to check that you are in fact connecting to the official network that's been provided.
Yeah, Karen, I thought that was quite clever because I think the public Wi-Fi name there was I Vote Trump.
Yeah, we had a couple. Mm-hmm.
So, but that was a friendly sort of hack, right? That wasn't. That was just meant to show public awareness of what could right, exactly, okay.
Exactly, but it did really illustrate what's at stake if it's not like a friendly test, attack. There's obviously people are really at risk when this happens with a truly malicious actor.
Well, it just goes to show what we've been talking about at the beginning, right? People are trusting these access points, or they're under pressure and they just pick the first one, and you don't know what you're putting up at risk, your personal information, your employer's data, things like that, and that's why I think with your solution it gives business people peace of mind where they don't have to worry about it. They can just go ahead and do their jobs.
Right. There's such a strong urge to connect nowadays. And then also it can be really tricky, as we've discussed, to identify which networks are legitimate and which aren't. So that is the beauty of a service like ours, is you don't have to second guess anymore. You can stay connected while on the go. Well, MSPs, clients, employees can easily stay connected while on the go. And I think that's a great part of why we've received such phenomenal feedback from our clients so far. It just really resolves a major pain for the modern workforce.
Well, I know I just turned off my auto join Wi-Fi, so that's I'm safe for now. Reed, you have one more question? I think we're about to end of our time here.
Yes. So Karen and Amit, presently we use CP, Secure Client, as a VPN application. What is your main VPN Pro cost? Will this be compatible with different OS platforms, other products as Cisco and WatchGuard?
Yes. So basically, we are compatible with all the different operation systems on the client side, and most of the different firewalls and cloud environments that are out there. We support Cisco, Dell, SonicWall, FortiGate, and all the major brands. And basically speaking, technically, you connect your firewall to Perimeter 81, and Perimeter 81 provides a single pane of access to all your environments.
Okay, and how do you handle DNS leaks on these cloud VPN services?
So that's a great question. It's something also that we learned from the consumer space, where we have like advanced features like DNS leak, protection, kill switch, and mechanisms in place in order to protect the customers from such vulnerabilities.
Does your company have distributors in Canada?
So we are now entering, we just released a press release earlier this month that we're entering the North American market and looking for partners and distributors and MSPs, both in Canada and in the US, and we'd love to explore these opportunities further.
Okay, and how secure is your cell phone connection for data?
So the cellular connection is encrypted with different encryption key per channel, so it's pretty much secure. However, there are solutions out there to intercept your mobile data, but it is like much more advanced and usually being used by governments and other things like that. So, but Wi-Fi's on the other hand are much more easier to hack. And if you Google, for example, how to hack public Wi-Fi and steal information, you will find tons of videos on YouTube that shows you how to do so, and relatively easy. And every even kid can do that without any issue.
Okay, and you mentioned compatibility. Is it compatible with Barracuda, spam, and firewall?
Yes. Okay. So basically speaking, the connection between the firewall to Perimeter 81 is IPsec connection. So every firewall that supports IPsec, which site-to-site VPN connection, which is most of the SMB and enterprise-grade firewalls, can be integrated with Perimeter 81.
I have one last question. Does employing a software-defined security solution cause any latency or slowdown in the data transfer over Wi-Fi, since the protected endpoint device has to communicate with the cloud constantly?
So that's another great question, and this is something that, again, our consumer experience have been contributed a lot. So basically we have a distributed cloud presence all over the world in order to ensure that endpoints are getting connected to the closest location, physical location, to our cloud, which minimize the latency and sometimes also improve the speed because of better routing. So we carefully choose the cloud providers and data centers that we are deployed in. All of them are highly secured and are providing fast internet lines in order to provide a seamless experience to the end customers.
Okay, and one question just came in. When using Perimeter 81 on a smartphone, how does it affect overall performance of the device and battery power longevity?
So that's a big plus for our automatic Wi-Fi security. So we turn on and turn off the VPN only when it's needed. So it minimizes the battery consumption. Other VPN providers like Cisco AnyConnect, for example, they allow always-on VPN, but then it drains out the battery. So based on our automatic Wi-Fi security, we know when we need to turn on the VPN, when we need to turn it off. And that way, we save a lot into battery consumption performance.
And have you been in North America long? How long has your product been in the marketplace?
So our Safer VPN product, the consumer product, is out there for a few years now, and we have strong US partners as well. And we have been there for a long time. We have a team of 5 people based in the US and Canada, alongside our team, the development team that is based in Israel, in Tel Aviv. And we have a strong presence there. But now with Perimeter 81, our business product, which we released mid last year, we are entering to the market stronger, specifically to the channel space. Till now, we sold directly to customers in the US. We have a pretty much high-profile customers from the East Coast and West Coast, and from different types of market segments, both in the US and Canada, which we'd love to share also with you. Maybe we can follow up about it, about different use cases and customer review that we've been doing recently.
Got it. So that's the opportunity for everyone in the line, right? Here's an opportunity to connect with Perimeter 81 and develop a partnership. Marie, do you have more questions? I hate to ask, but you had a lot of questions there.
Thank you very much. That's it. Thank you.
You're good? You sure? Okay. So I'm just going to wrap this up and throw it back to you, Karen, to invite everyone to the next step. But, I'll throw it back to you first then, Karen.
Great. So I just wanted to thank all of you for joining us today. We really appreciate the opportunity to discuss this important topic with you. We invite you all to request a free demo, to reach out with us. We have our contact information at the end of this slide. And also, we're available on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. We really would be happy to connect with you to learn more about your pain points, what you're seeking in a service, and to answer any questions that you may have. So thank you so much for all of your time.
Well, thank you, Karen and Amit. It's been a pleasure. It's been a fantastic presentation, and I think you shone some big light on a big problem that we're all facing with. So thank you. Any last words, Amit, before we leave?
Yeah, I wanted to thank you all for joining today. It was a pleasure speaking to you. We will be in the Channel Next East at the beginning of June. So if any one of you are participating, we'd love to meet in person. And don't hesitate to shoot us an email or to request a demo, and we'd love to follow up with you in person and to develop further the relationships.
Great. Well, thank you, everyone. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.